The purpose of this video is to help you get started with using Microsoft Excel 2016. I'm Dr. Lisa Henderson. In this video, I'll show you how to open a blank worksheet. I'll give you a quick overview of the ribbon, explain how cells are addressed, show you how to select a range, rows and columns, and show you how to type data into a worksheet. Let's get started. I've just opened Excel, and you can see here that I have options to open a tutorial or to open a template for a workbook. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to open a blank workbook, and I click on that icon to do that. Excel has a worksheet, which is a grid of cells, and I can type numbers or data or text into any one of these little boxes. You'll notice that the boxes have a heading, row headings, A, B, C, D, and so forth. Actually, those are column headings, or I have row headings, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. The application has a ribbon similar to Word. Above the ribbon, we have tabs. I can click on these tabs, and the ribbon has different features on for every tab. Go back to the Home tab. We also have a name box right here. That displays the active cell or which cell I have selected. So if I click in A1, A1 displays there. If I click in C3, C3 displays there. And then I also have a formula bar right here. In the formula bar, you will see displayed whatever that cell contains, whether that be a formula or a number or a word or whatever is in that cell. That will be displayed up here in the formula bar. When I'm addressing a column, so let's say I want to, I've just showed you how to select a cell. If I want to select a column, for example, column B, I can click on the column heading here, B, to select that column, or column F. If I want to select a row, I click on the row heading, the number for the row. So say row 4, I click here. I can select row 11 by clicking on the 11 and so forth. And I can also select a range of rows or columns. For example, if I wanted to select D through F, columns D through F, I can click and drag. If I want to select rows 3 through 7, I can click and drag. All right, when we refer to a range of cells, I'm going to bring up WordPad here. Let's say I want to select cell C2 through D4. C2 through D4, I would click in C2 and then drag over through D4, and that would be the range. All right, and so a range is like a starting cell, an ending cell with a colon in between. C2 through D4, C2 colon D4, just like that. Okay, let's put some data into our worksheet. If, let's say, I'm going to count how many trees are in my orchard, and I have apple trees. Oh, wait, before we do that, let's say that we're going to do a count of trees in my orchard for 2016, 2017, and 2018. And I have apple trees, pear trees, and cherry trees. Now, every time I put data into a cell, as soon as I exit that cell, the data commits to the cell. So for example, I can hit the tab key, I can hit an enter key. I can also click this up here to commit the value to the cell. So for example, let's say I want to make it so that I have 10 apple trees in the year 2016. I can enter a 10. I can press the tab key, and I have 12 trees in 2017. I could hit the enter key, and that takes me down below. I actually want to come over here. I'm going to say 14 trees. I could also click this. This does an enter, but see what happens when I click the check mark is that that cell remains active to me. And also, I want you to notice up here in the formula bar, anytime I click on a cell, the value that's in that cell shows. Not the value that's in the cell, but what is actually typed into the cell. And I'll show you in just a minute what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put some data in here for pears. 3 trees, 5 trees, 6 trees, and then for cherry trees, 2, 5, and 6. Okay, and so any of the cells that I click on, you can see what's in the cell by looking at the formula bar. Now I want to total these up. Well, first of all, I want to make these look like headings. So I'm going to make them bold, and I'm going to make the row headings here bold. But I want to put a total here. So I'm going to say total. And I want to add how many trees for 2016. Now you can just do that in your head, but I'm going to use a sum function. So sum, and I want to add B2 through B4, then use a closing parenthesis, press the enter key, and I've got 15, B2 through B4. And I want to do a sum for each of these years. I could continue, I could add each one of these, but I'm just going to click and drag. Now let me show you what I'm clicking on. You see that little square right there? That's the fill handle. If I grab that and drag it, the sum will be calculated for each one of these columns. Now I've got the little warning here because I'm not including Excel doesn't understand that those are headings. I'm going to click this and say ignore the error because it's really not an error. That was my intent. Now, if I click on this cell right here, the result of my formula is 15, but I can actually see the formula up here in the formula bar. And if I click here, the result is 22, but the actual formula is to take the sum of C2 through C4. And the same here. I'm displaying the sum of D2 through D4. Now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to apply a total style because I want this to look like totals. And I'm going to select these numbers. I'm going to go up here to the styles group and choose a total style right here. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, that's all we're going to do for this video. Thank you for watching.